Hey, Bruce Naylor here, your boomer consumer, and this is the Schiit Audio Magni 3 Plus headphone amplifier. I'm going to talk about it in this video. Now, as a disclaimer, all opinions of my own. I paid for this with my own funds, and no one's reviewed this video prior to posting. So I will admit right off the bat, I am more of a speaker guy than a headphone fanatic, okay? But I certainly use headphones quite frequently, especially when I'm editing videos or if I'm doing critical listening to music. And the reason being, good pair of headphones eliminates one of the biggest problems of sound reproduction, which is the room. You get rid of the room when you're using a good set of cans. Now, I use the Sony MDR 7506, which are studio monitor headphones. Say what you want, but they're ubiquitous. You know, a lot of music is mixed with those. They're in a lot of recording studios. That's what I use until I get something different. But I have listened to a wide variety of music on this thing, so let's talk a little bit more in depth about it. Let's go over the specifications of this. So it is 2.8 watts into 16 ohms, 2.4 into 32 ohms, and 1.6 into 50 ohms. This amplifier will be able to drive just about any headphones you throw at it, including those hard to drive planar headphones, all right? It is built like a tank. It is all metal and very, very simple to set up and to use. It can be used as a very rudimentary preamplifier if you wish. The measurements, it measures, and I had to write this down, 5 inches wide, 3.5 inches in depth, 1.25 inches in height. In metrics, that's 127 millimeters by 88.9 by 31.75 millimeters. Very light. It is backed by a 2-year warranty from Schiit Audio. Now, let's show you some of the features on here. I'm going to get this into focus. Looking at the front, you have a 1/4 inch jack for your headphones, and then you have a nice volume knob. Hopefully we can get that into focus. There we go. Come on, focus. Right, you got a nice, I think it's plastic, but it's got a nice feel to it. That's what you get on the front. Now let's take a look at the back. Okay, on the back you have a left and right input. Then you have a gain switch. It's a low and high gain. Then you have an output. And so what I do is I use this in conjunction with the Schiit Modi 3 DAC. The DAC is fed to the inputs. Then coming out goes into a small Class D amplifier. Then you have your on and off switch, and then as well as the input for your power supply. And that's what's on the unit. Then it comes with a wall wart, a rather large wall wart, and a small set of instructions, all in an attractive cardboard box. It's also backed by a 2-year warranty. Very solid, all metal build on here. I mean, this thing is built like a small tank. Now, let's throw some confusion on there, because when you go to order the Magni 3 Plus, you'll also have the option to get the Magni Heresy or the IE Magni. Let's talk about the differences a little bit. First off, if I understood what Schiit Audio was saying, this is actually the more complicated one from the build versus the Heresy. The Heresy is what's called an OP amplifier, or operational amplifier. If you're chasing specifications, the Heresy might have a little bit better specs. So why do they sell this? Because Schiit Audio says the sound is very, very good, and this is in a very much in demand headphone amplifier. All right. So the idea is that you are getting an affordable, all discrete current feedback headphone amp. That is what the Magni 3 Plus is. Well, let's talk about the sound of the Magni 3 Plus. I listened to a wide variety of music through this, including the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, Eric Clapton Unplugged, listened to some Nora Jones, some R&B, a wide variety of different kind of music on there. And I have to say, I think to describe the sound, it's powerful. Very, very punchy. The bass, very fast, very snappy on here. Mid-range, the vocals are neutral but very clear. And as far as the highs go, crisp and airy. That's the kind of sound quality you get out of these, all right? And the MDR 7506 headphones are, I mean, again, these are supposed to be a pretty neutral set of headphones. A lot of music is mastered using those. So why not listen to music on the headphones that the way that they were mastered, what the headphones that were used for the mastering, why not use those? I was really impressed. Now, again, I'm not a big headphone guy. I'm more of a speaker guy. But we get rid of that room, and then you can really tell the difference. Could you use this just by plugging it into a laptop or a device with a headphone jack? You could. You could get a cable that's got a 3.5 millimeter on one end and a RCA on the outputs. I wouldn't recommend that, right? I recommend that you use this in combination with the DAC, which is what I do, and the matching set to this would be the Modi 3 from Schiit Audio. Use those together and you have a Schiit stack. All right, I'm not going to say SE, I'm not going to go there. There you have it. You're going to get some really great sound out of these. Let's talk about the sound stage and imaging just a little bit. The imaging was spot on with these. Now, I listen to the same sources through Pioneer, my big Pioneer SX D7000, through my SX 3700. I listened to it through my NAD B 316B. To me, the music sounded a bit more punchy and a bit more airy than on any of those amplifiers and receivers. Highs, I think, might be just a bit north of neutral. I won't say it's even warm, but let's just say nice, bright, and crisp. I can tell you one thing for sure. Nothing was underserved as far as bass, mid-range, highs, etc. Everything was either nice and flat or just slightly north of neutral. Any cons here? Well, sure, there's a few. The first thing is the size of the wall wart is as big as this thing is, okay? I'm not a big fan of the wall wart. It does not ship with any RCA cables, all right? But I'd rather them put the money into the build of the equipment as opposed to accessories. And finally, there is no internal DAC. That's what the Modi 3 is for. So with DAC and the amplifier, you're in that $200 range. You're still getting a lot of value for the money with one of these. So bottom line is, I highly recommend this. If you're looking for a nice round, all-around headphone amplifier that work pretty much any headphone you want to use and you want to stay within a good price, this is certainly one of those devices worth exploring. And that is it. It's my overall review of the Schiit. You know what the name of the company is. I don't have to go on and on about that. Magni 3 Plus. Or you might look at the Heresy if the specifications is what your driving method of purchasing is. Bruce Naylor, your Boomer Consumer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.